Today I'm going to cook up the most expensive steak in the world, Wagyu A5. I've been dreaming about this day for, I'm not even joking, for years. I'm on the Fine and Wild website. It's a very slick looking website with nice pictures of beef. £1,149. A whole boneless ribeye. I don't think I need that much, to be honest. 300-gram steak for £75. I'm gonna get two of them. One for me and the other one for me as well. The other night I was sat in my bed and it was quiet and I was lying there thinking about stuff, and I ended up thinking about what's the point in life? We're all gonna die one day. I'm gonna die, you're gonna die, everything's gonna come to an end. And so this thought didn't make me sad, it inspired me. It made me go, okay then, if I'm gonna be gone one day, then I'm gonna frickin' buy this Wagyu A5 steak and blast all my money on a block of meat, because one day I won't be able to do that. One day I won't be able to travel the world. One day I won't be able to get up in the morning and listen to the bird song. And one day I won't be able to enjoy beautiful food that we are blessed with on planet Earth. So that's why currently I'm on the Fine and Wild website buying a piece of meat for nearly 100 quid. Did I justify it well enough to you? I just bought it. Oh no. Oh dear, it's happened. I'm so excited. I know I might not be showing it, but also feel incredibly guilty in the inside. All those things I could have done with £158. We are gonna share this experience together. I didn't want to do it on my own. I needed to bring my camera along with me and document this experience, because this is once in a lifetime thing. So please join me as we go on an adventure and we eat some beautiful food. I'll catch you soon. There it is, all the way from Japan. You might be wondering why I've come into the woods to cook up this special meal. Well, it's because I read a book by a guy called Heston. He's a very famous chef, and he said how the food in his restaurant has got to obviously taste perfect, but also everything that surrounds the food has to be perfect, like the atmosphere in the restaurant. The music that's playing has to be the right music to fit the setting. The pictures on the wall have to be perfect. The aroma in the dining area has to be spot on. And I thought, well, if I'm gonna buy the most expensive steak in the world, cooking it up in my boring kitchen at home is gonna be, well, boring. So I thought, how about I go somewhere nice, somewhere in nature, and make the experience of eating this steak even better, because I'm gonna be chomping on this beautiful piece of meat whilst surrounded by birdsong and beautiful trees and clear flowing rivers and the smell of the forest. Surely that's gonna make my experience one to remember. Right, am I going a bit too deep into this? Oh, it looks beautiful down there. You have arrived at your destination. The woods. Ta-da! Whoa. I am so excited. I'm salivating just looking at that beautiful marbling. But before we go any further, what is Wagyu A5? Wagyu simply translates to Japanese cow, and A5 refers to the quality of the meat. The letters A, B or C is how the Wagyu is graded for the yield of usable meat from the cow. Then grades 1 to 5 are given for the quality of fat marbling on the meat. And this is what everyone raves about. The number 5 indicates it has the highest possible beef marbling score, which apparently means it's gonna taste amazing. Alright, so we've got to let that defrost. And in the meantime, I've got some other stuff to get on with. Steak can go up there. I am super serious about this meal. I even took notes and wrote down the recipe. So we're gonna cook up some sushi rice to go with the Wagyu A5. It involves some rice and also like a vinegar mix. So some vinegar, salt and sugar, which goes over the rice, and then I mix it together and it tastes good. I tried it last week and it was really good, so we're gonna do that again. In fact, last week I also cooked up a 4-pound steak from my local supermarket, so I could set a baseline for my palate and judge this A5 steak more accurately. If this 4-pound steak tastes good, then what is the Wagyu A5 gonna taste like? No, this is amazing. I'm loving it. Apparently, you should wash the rice. You see how the water's gone all like dirty? Apparently, you want to wash it until the water goes clear. And then to the rice, it's 1 cup of water. Rice on. Do you like my table? Everything in my cart has a purpose. 1 tablespoon of rice vinegar, 1 tablespoon of sugar, that's quite a lot. 1 teaspoon of salt. Look at this, so beautiful. We're in the woods, cooking up some food. I love it. This is the life I've been dreaming of for so long. Park the car in the forest, take out the gas stove, start cooking up some food. Oh, it's bubbling. So I'm gonna turn down the heat and then we're just gonna simmer it for I think like 10 minutes. I'm using this saucepan as like a lid. 15 minutes later, all the water's gone, soaked into the rice. I've got the vinegar mix inside this little saucepan, so I'm going to heat that up quickly over the rice. Wow, that's amazing. So sticky and sweet. Right, that's ready to eat with the steak later. I just drove into the sun so I can defrost my steak quicker. I should have taken it out earlier this morning, really. Ah, look at it out here, it's so nice. It says on the back, Miyazaki A5 Wagyu. So Miyazaki is where it came from, I believe. It's an A5 sirloin steak with a beef marbling score of 8 to 12, which means like it's the highest. I've got the traceability ID, so that will trace back to the exact cow that it came from, I guess. And yeah, I'm gonna open it up. That's the most incredible piece of meat I've ever seen. Oh, it's thick as well, look at that. Actually got decent meat's worth for my money. When people talk about marbling on a steak, they're talking about all these white bits of intramuscular fat. And that's apparently what makes it so good. And it's to do with like the diet they feed them on, and also the fact that they massage them and give them beer and wine and treat them like kings. Look at that. That's a steak. And the sun's shining as well. Before you eat food, you've got to lay the table, and also you've got to find a kitchen. And I've decided that I'm going to cook up my food down by the river. Welcome to my kitchen. Wow, look at it. That thing is going to be eaten. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Imagine if like someone's dog came and just ate it and took it off me. I would probably have to kill the dog. I'm joking, I wouldn't do that. Wow. Oh, should we cook it over here? Oh, that's epic. The first thing I'm gonna cook, I think, is called nigiri, and you basically take some sushi rice, make it into a little ball, and then you put some steak on top of it, and then you flamethrower it until it just browns the top. Very simple, but I'm gonna try that first. You need wet hands for this. So you take a little bit of the rice, put it in the palm of your hand, and then you just kind of squeeze it into a little ball and place it there. This is why I like cooking near water, because you can just wash your hands in there very easily. Just touching the steak, my hands feel like they're covered in butter. Like the fat melts so easily. Look at that, wow. Then all we do is we get our flamethrower. That is too much fun. Okay, I'm really excited. In fact, I'm not even going to put the rice in with that one. I want to experience it completely on its own.
So at this point I was very confused. The texture was incredible, but I couldn't taste any flavour. Then I realised I had completely forgotten to put any salt on it.
I forgot to put salt on, but still, oh my goodness. It just disappears in your mouth. Okay, these two I've got to put salt on. Okay, there we go. Wagyu A5 nigiri. That's the best thing I've put in my mouth ever. Wow, are you serious? I didn't think there was any food which tasted that good. Whoa. How is that possible? That is the best tasting food I've ever had in my life. What? It's just a piece of meat and some salt. Look at it, surrounded by trees, clear flowing river, the best steak in the world. Life couldn't be better.
You might now be wondering, how on earth did these Japanese cows become to have this incredible taste and status? From what I know, it's a combination of a special grain diet and also low stress levels. Apparently, a more chilled out cow is going to produce better meat. Water quality, air quality, genetics management, and probably hundreds of other things also play a part in producing A5 quality beef. I've learned that the Wagyu farmers really care about the quality of life of their cattle, which in turn produces what I can now confirm is the best tasting meat in the world.
Right, let's cook the rest of this thing up. Now, my biggest fear was overcooking this steak. So I spent quite a lot of time at home doing some research and learning about how to cook the steak perfectly. And also I learned a bit about the science behind it as well.
When it comes to doneness levels of steak, it's all about the internal temperature of the meat. It's a simple case of reaching the desired temperature to match the doneness level you require. These numbers can sway a few degrees either way, but my aim was to cook a medium rare steak at a finished temperature of around 54 degrees C.
So I've got this meat thermometer. Now I can stick this thermometer into the steak. I can't forget to salt it. Now this is really cool. I've got this app called Meter and it's attached to the thermometer and it tells me the internal temperature of the steak, medium rare, but I want to cook it a few degrees less than that because it will keep on cooking for a bit once I take it off the heat. So I'm going to take it off the heat at about 50 degrees and then it should go up to around 54 or around that. Start to cook. So I'm going to set up my kitchen. Okay. This wind isn't ideal, it's not helping. Just waiting for the pan to heat up. Look at it out here, wow. Okay, we're gonna go for it. Look at that, wow. The smell is ridiculous. It is just incredible. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's a crust. Even the fat that's just coming off it now is just insane. It's so annoying. The wind keeps blowing, getting under the gas stove, and then the pan isn't as hot as it should be. And for a steak, you want it really hot so it sears the outside. The first side looks okay, but the second side, I'm not sure how it's going to turn out. Internal temperature, 20 degrees. We're halfway there. Right, we're going to create a wind barrier. This is so exciting. I love this so much. I already know how good it tastes because I've had those tiny slithers on top of the rice, but I can't wait to bite into a chunk of this. The internal temperature is 50 degrees. Steak in the forest. Right, I've got to lay the table. Oh boy. It's so soft. Mmm. Mind-blowing. I believe the hype is real. Wagyu A5 is the best tasting thing I have ever had, ever. I found it. I've just shot up to heaven. Everything's good. Was it worth £75 for one steak? Yes, it was. I just had the best 5 minutes of my life. Will I do it again soon? No. Will I do it again one day? If this video gets 10,000 billion likes, then I'll go and eat another steak like this to celebrate. Oh, go on then, another bit. Oh, cutting it is just so much fun. Wow. It just melts, it dissolves like butter in your mouth. This is fun. Oh, that was freaking scary. I hope no one sees me doing this. It kind of looks a bit dodgy. I burnt the rice a bit. Wow, that was some experience. I'm still a little bit speechless. I wasn't quite prepared for that level of melt in mouth. It just disappeared and just left your whole mouth like exploding with flavour and incredibleness. It's very hard to explain, but it was worth it, I think. What do you do when you're completely lost and you don't have any signal? I would love to stay out here in the woods longer, but I need to get my priorities right and sort my bed out in this car first. Because I can't go on sleeping in this bed. It's not flat and it's not worth sleeping in because I don't get any sleep. So I'm gonna head home, I think. And then once I'm home, I'm gonna do some proper DIY. I'm gonna test my DIY woodwork skills to the max, and I'm gonna put in a proper bed. I'm gonna get the battery linked up so it charges whilst I'm driving, because let's be honest, my current car sleeping setup is rubbish. Thanks for joining me and sharing this Wagyu A5 steak eating experience with me. I desperately wanted to film it and document it because it's something that I'm likely to only ever do this once, so I'm glad I've captured it on film. And hopefully you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. I'm lost. I'm totally lost. I'm like going up a mountain now. I'm gonna turn around.